Now, we both knew, Demetrius, that this fight was going to happen. It was scheduled before injury. Saw each other in November fighting on the same card in Anaheim. Why do you want to fight Jaime Munguia?
For me, it makes sense. We're both under the same promotion, Golden Boy. He's made a hell of a name for himself so far, generating so many fans in the U.S. and in Mexico, of course. He has an outstanding record. I'm undefeated, 21-0, and it just makes sense. Seems like the biggest fight for me to make and to really catapult me into those top fighters at the 160 in that discussion.
But why fight him in Tijuana, his hometown? Come on now. You didn't have to do that. Why?
That was how it was offered to me. I've been inactive for 700 plus days, 2 years. Before that fight in November, I got the cobwebs off. Felt like I got back in the ring, and they offered me this fight. And you and I both know this is a fight that I've always mentioned and talked about with Jaime. Just knowing it makes the perfect sense. He started off at 154. I started off at 168. He moved up to 160, and now I'm down to 160. So it just makes perfect sense. In Mexico, in Tijuana. If you ask me, it's perfect.
Okay, so for you, it's perfect. It's a long way from Prince County, Maryland. Like, dude, it's Tijuana. It's his backyard. Nobody's going to give you a chance in this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know it's funny. Nobody's going to give me a chance, but you know what? And in the sport of boxing, sometimes it's required of fighters to go to enemy territory, to the trenches, to a hostile environment, to take the belt, to go get it. Everybody's path is different, and I feel like February 19th, it's my time.
Now, you hear a lot of fighters say it's always cool to go in somebody's backyard and shut up the crowd. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, I was talking to my wife earlier, and we watch Canelo all the time. I watch Jaime fights. I love Mexican fighters. They fight. So it's funny because I told her, I joke around with her. I said, they're going to be yelling and screaming at you. They know they're going to be fighting and tussling. They're going to be in your face. And my wife, she's tough. She's all for it. And she said something back to me. She said, they're going to do the national anthem. That's going to be one of the things that go. They're going to go crazy. They're going to be screaming in there. I said, yeah, I know. I know when that time comes, when I hear the crowd, the walkthrough and the music and stuff, I know I'm gonna feel goosebumps. But Bernard Hopkins, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, it's so many Cambosas. There's so many fighters that are required, to go over and put their stamp on a box and put their stamp on the fights. And I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for me. I feel like his style and my style was going to make for a great and entertaining fight.
You know, the underdog role is something that you're not used to, but lately you're like, you don't give it to me. Why are you accepting of that?
I guess in boxing wise, since I turned pro, the underdog role hasn't really been there. But through life and just coming up, school wise, just in normal days, I always felt like an underdog. I always felt like people was looking over me, and that always drove me to be the best version of myself, whether it be basketball, football, schoolwork, um, anything. I always was the underdog. Always was looked over. Even in boxing, when I first started boxing as an amateur, getting beat up and losing fights, and then turning pro into my career at 19 with 8 national championships, traveling the world and going to Olympic trials and doing all these things. So, it really feels good that people are actually doubting me, and it feels like I'm back in a comfort. I feel real comfortable. It's exciting. It's real exciting. I can't wait.
It's like, okay, you want to count me out? Go ahead. It's going to be a mistake on your side. It's your attitude. Is Mungia overlooking you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's looking over me. I feel like you said, we all knew this fight was going to happen. It could have happened sooner. There's plenty of opportunities where I could have fought him before that, but he fought other people. I fought other people. I don't think he's looking over me. I feel like he knows uh, what type of fight this will be. I feel like he knows he's going to be a tough one.
What can a win for you do for your career?
It's everything. It's everything that young boxing fans in the sport dream of. Fights like this, defining moments like this, where once I win this fight, once I beat Jaime, then my career takes off like a rocket. And once that happens, I'm not looking back.
You just said it right there. You have that positive attitude right there. When I beat him, where's that confidence coming from?
It's just what I always been instilled in me. A lot of it comes to my father. The mindset of always being number one, always being first. My father used to tell me going to basketball and football games, if you on the bench, if you ain't a star on the team, I'm not coming to see you play. So I just always take that drive and that motivation. It ain't fun being second best, ain't fun being third best. In this division at 160, I want to be the number one fighter. And Jaime Munguia is just the next obstacle, the next enemy, the next object I have to overcome to make those goals come true.
Can you get a decision in Tijuana?
It's possible. Some people would say it's not likely just because of boxing and politics. I'm in Mexico. People already want to say you're gonna have to knock this guy out to get a win. Wish they could be true, but I'm not going in thinking that I have to knock him out. But I'm training and putting this work in this camp so I can put on a really good show and a dominant performance.
The last thing you want to do is leave it in the hands of somebody else, right? Is that the approach in camp?
No, if you can leave it out of the judges' hands, to any young boxer coming up, any boxing sport, we all know if you have a chance to not leave it into the judges' hands, you take the opportunity. So best to believe, if I get an opportunity, and I'm a boxer, I'm a shot. If I get the opportunity to take it out of the judges' hand, I'm definitely going to go for it. It's part of the sport.
Mitch, you're 21 and you're 28 years old, physical prime right now. Experts are going to say, he doesn't have much of a chance against Munguia, the former world champion. You look, I'm not going to say you're Rocky, right, going into fight Drago or anything like that, but it kind of senses like that a little bit, right?
Yeah, it feels like that a little bit. Just based on how little people know of me and of my amateur background and just my boxing pedigree. People really don't know that much about me. But Munguia, he's one of Golden Boy's premier boxers, one of DAZN's premier boxers. So he's been fighting main events for the last 2.5 years, generating this fan base. And the casual boxing fan, they're not going to know actual fighters, what they doing and what type of background actually boxing is and outs. They're going to go for the guys they've been seeing, been putting on dominant performances. And, I take nothing from Munguia, man. They've been putting guys in front of him, and he's been doing what he's supposed to do. So, everything to him is deserved. He has it right now, but, I just feel like, it's my time. I've been waiting patiently. I turned pro at 19. Through all the BS, through all the my personal life or management or all the issues I've been through, I still managed to come here at 21-0, undefeated, and I'm still able to have this opportunity right now to change my life. So, and I really do what I love. I had dreams and goals and aspirations like a little kid of being here, being world champion, undisputed, undefeated. So, it's here. I feel like I spoke about it when I was a teenager, 15, 16, that these moments are going to come. I daydream so much about going overseas in England or somewhere like that, fighting a guy. Like I already visualizing these moments in my head because I know this is what's required of great fighters. All is required. All great fighters have to, at some point in time, they go overseas and they fight somebody in their backyard and they take their belt. Andre Ward did it. The list can go on. There's so many fighters I can keep naming, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. People saying, "Why would you go to Mexico? Why?" The opportunity comes. It comes, and I'm taking it.
And that'll be in Tijuana. Demetrius Ballard, Big Meech, undefeated, 21-0. I've known you early on in your career, and you always told me, I want to fight the big fights. I want to be on the big stage. Well, here you go. Opportunity against Jaime Munguia. Good luck to you. We'll see you in Tijuana.
Yes, sir. Thank you.